Hey everyone, it's Kaycienikole, and today we're going to go through a mini flow where we're going to focus more on the standing postures, basic standing postures, focusing a little bit on full body. And we're going to make this a quick one. We're just going to get through the flow and then we'll find a quick little seat to ground our energy down. So this is perfect if you're just trying to build some energy, used as preparation for something, or as a complete practice in of itself. I have 2 blocks available. I always recommend having 2 blocks. If you have a strap could also be a great option, especially when we get to some shoulder opening. Let's go ahead and start off on our backs. As you come down into a reclined position, I'm going to offer you to bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees open up wide into a reclined butterfly positioning. Hands can rest anywhere that's comfortable for you here, but melt into the shoulders, melt into the hips. If the hips do get a little cranky being in this position with the knees open up wide, you can always take blocks underneath the knees just to lift and provide a little extra support. Please listen to your body. We're going to use this posture to drop in to establish some breath and connection. So let's exhale and let all of the breath empty out. Through the nose, take a slow inhale, open up into your belly, open up into your ribs, all the way up into your chest. And then just hold the breath. See if you can sip in a little more air. And then open up your mouth and let it go. One more like that. Slow inhale. Pick up all the tension from your day. Open up from the bottom to the top. And once you reach the top of the breath, see if you can sip in a little more. And then open up your mouth and let it go. Now we're going to start to come into our Ujjayi breath, our victorious breath. So seal the lips, breathing in and out of your nose, find a steady rhythm, and lightly constrict the breath down the back of the throat. So you allow your breath to take a more audible tone, like you're fogging up a mirror, but the mouth is closed. And then just give yourself a few more breaths here in this shape. Settling in, relaxing your body, relaxing your mind. Now, from here, little wiggles into your fingers and into your toes. Then you're going to slowly lift your right knee, pull the right knee towards the chest. And as you hug it in, grab the knee with your left hand and let your right arm fall off to the right side. Let's take a deep inhale. And then exhale, twist. Pull the knee over to the left and down while keeping your right shoulder blade flat down on the floor. Don't let it curl up. Taking it into your twist. Each inhale, feel your body expand with air. And each exhale, twisting yourself in a little bit deeper. Maybe look over your right shoulder to complete the rotation in your spine. One more breath. Let the head come back to center and then lift the knee back to your chest. Start to pull it in a little bit closer now. And if you're able to, open it slightly to the side of your body and pull it towards your right armpit. You can stay right here. If you want to take it a little deeper and your body is giving you permission to do so, maybe take half happy baby on the right side, right hand through the inside of your right leg. You can grab a hold of the foot or anywhere along the leg. Try to angle the sole of the foot towards the ceiling and feel the knee bending towards the ground. If this is too intense, just feel free to continue pulling the knee to the chest or towards the armpit, and that's a perfectly fine variation. Otherwise, just a couple more breaths here. And then slowly release your right foot. Let it come down to the ground to meet the left. Back into that butterfly shape. We're going to do the same thing now on the other side. Left knee lifts up. And then start to pull it towards your chest. Holding onto the knee with your right hand this time, left arm falls to the side. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, twist. Pull the knee over to the right and down. Maybe your head rolls over to the left side. Make sure the left shoulder stays on the ground. We're not pulling so deep into the twist that the shoulder blade lifts up. We don't want that extra pressure. We want a nice grounding point. Let's take one more deep breath. Head back to center. Lift the knee back up to center. And as you hug the knee in towards your chest, you can stay here. Maybe start to open it slightly to the side of your torso, pulling it towards your left armpit. And then same option if you want to work towards half happy baby. Left hand through the inside of the left leg. Grab a hold of the foot, the leg, anywhere along the way. And then try to angle the sole of the foot towards the ceiling as the knee gently bends towards the ground. Take a couple more breaths here. Feel the sensation and try to circulate it with your breath. Feel a smoothness with your breath. And then gently bend the knee, release the foot or the knee, set the foot to the ground. Hands to the outer legs, lift them towards one another. Separate the feet a little bit and just windshield wiper your knees from side to side. When you're ready, hug the knees to your chest. And as you rock side to side, just roll over to either side and use your top hand to gently press yourself up into an upright seated position. From this seated position, spine lifts, hands cup over the knees. We're going to do some seated cat-cow position. So rather than being on hands or knees, we'll do it with our hands cupped over the knees. Let's take a deep breath in. And exhale, chin to your chest, tuck your tail, round your back, and lean back into it to curl as much as you can. Inhale, scoop your heart forward and up. Feel the lifting of your chest. Feel the sit bones pulled back and opening through your ribs. And exhale, rounding chin to chest, tail tucks, curling the spine. Inhale, open. And just take a couple more on your own. Add in any other movements that you'd like, whatever feels good. Let this be your time to kind of tap into the spine, to the hips, kind of feel out what's going on in there today. Make your way back to nice and neutral. From this position, we're going to sweep the legs around to the side, make our way into tabletop, and we're going to tuck the toes. Lift the hips up and back. Let's take our first downward facing dog of this practice. And spending about 3 to 5 breaths, just moving in this position. You can bend and straighten one leg at a time, shifting from side to side, but work on lengthening your spine. So if your back is rounded and all of your weight is forward, bend your knees, pull the hips back to take the weight off the upper body. And then eventually you can work on straightening your legs, but don't worry about having straightened legs. Focus more so on the length of the spine. One more breath. Inhale, come up onto the toes. Exhale, look forward and walk your way to the front of the mat. And then separate your feet the width of the mat. Let the toes turn away from one another. And just begin to sink your hips towards the ground. You can either sink down into a low squat. If that's not comfortable for your body, you can also stay up high in a high squat, resting the elbows onto the thighs. This is going to require a little bit more muscular activation. You can come in and out as often as you'd like. If you do sink down into a low squat, if that's also a little too difficult, you can take a block underneath your hips and sit onto the block. This takes a little bit of that balancing aspect out, especially if you're having difficulty with grounding the heels or stabilizing. This can be a great option. We're going to be here for a little while. So come in, come out, do what you need to do, listen to your body, take rest, and come back in when you feel ready. Hands at heart center if you can. Open up the thighs, maybe sway a little bit in your feet. Okay, we're going to take this potentially into some other variations. So please listen to your body, move nice and slow. From here, stay. Or you're going to slide your right arm to the inside of the right leg as best as you can. Maybe it only slides a little bit. That's okay. Maybe it slides to the shoulder. Wherever you are, take that right hand and just reach it out and down to the ground. And you're going to use that to press into the leg, open up your ribs and chest. Left hand reaches up. You can stay here. If you'd like, take that top hand, flip it back. That's creating internal rotation on your shoulder, and maybe drop it around to your lower back and just open up here. One more breath. And then if you're bound with that top arm, reach it up and then bring your hands back to heart center, chest up tall. We're going to do the other side. Once again, come in and out as often as you need. Left arm slides to the inside of the left leg as best as you're able. Extend the left hand out and down. Use it as an anchor point. Then we're going to push into that anchor point. Leverage it against the leg as you open up ribs and chest. Right arm reaches up. Stay here. Maybe flip the palm back. Maybe drop it to your lower back, creating that half bind. Let's take another breath here. If you're bound with that top arm, reach it up, inhale, and then take your hands together, heart center, exhale. Lower the hands to the ground. If you want a little more space, walk the hands a little more forward, lean towards the hands, and then lift the hips up, walk the feet back in, shake it out. If you're not at the front of the mat, make your way there into a nice forward fold. Separate the feet about hips width apart. Let's take a little softness in the knees here for a moment. Lengthening the spine. Maybe hug yourself in if that feels good. Hands around the backs of your calves. Maybe just let the arms dangle. Maybe grab opposite elbows and sway side to side. It's entirely up to you what variation you choose. Just let it feel good. Let's take another breath. Releasing your arms down. Lengthen your spine. Inhale halfway. Pull the heart forward. Feel free to bend the knees as generously as you'd like here. And exhale, folding down. Inhale, come up to standing. Reach up nice and tall. Lifting, opening up the chest. And then take your hands down together at your heart center and down to your sides. We're going to go through sun salutations here. We're going to move nice and slow, and I'm going to add in some variations that help us to progressively warm up the body. So let's inhale, the arms reach up nice and tall. And on your exhale, take the hands behind the back and interlace the fingers. We're going to add some shoulder opening. You can always take a strap between your hands as well if you'd like a little bit more space. Okay, if you're unable to straighten out the arms, the strap helps tremendously. Lengthen the arms down, stretch them as straight as you can, lifting tall. And on your next exhale, hinge at your hips and feel the arms reaching away from the lower back. The more space you have between your hands, if you're using a strap, the more the arms are going to be able to fall overhead away from the back. So create the space necessary. Take another breath. Now stay in your forward fold. Feel your knuckles come towards your lower back. And then gently drape your hands all the way towards the floor. Inhale, lengthen your spine halfway. Plant your hands to the mat. Let's step back into a plank position and we'll hold here for a few breaths. The knees can always come down to the ground, but make sure you find a nice strong plank from the knees to the crown if you're going to do that. Otherwise, from the heels to the crown. One more breath. Press into the hands, fingers spread wide. Start to rock forward and exhale, lower down to the ground. Knees are a great option to lower with control. Untuck your toes. 2 rounds of back bends here. Inhale, lift up through your chest. Listen to your body. Exhale, come right back down. Again, inhale, lift up. And exhale, right back down. Press back onto hands and knees. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Spend about 3 to 5 breaths here. If you want to continue to move, you can continue to move in this position. Keep the weight evenly distributed through the body by sending some of that weight down into the legs. Deep Ujjayi breath. Stay connected. Let's take one more breath. Inhale. And exhale, release your breath. Look forward. Go ahead and make your way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift position. Inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up to standing with a flat back. Lengthen, come all the way up, reaching tall. And then take your hands to heart center and then drop them down to your sides. Now we're going to do that again. This time we're going to flow one breath, one motion, and we're not going to add in any of the little extras. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, chaturanga, plant the palms, step back, maybe drop the knees, lower half or all the way down. Inhale, cobra or upward dog, lift the heart, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, downward dog, lift the hips up and back. Come back any way that serves you. You can always take rest at any time by dropping the knees, sinking the hips to the heels, and relaxing into a child's pose or any other resting pose of your choosing. Let's take one more breath here. Exhale, release it all the way out. Step or hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come to standing. Reaching up nice and tall. And exhale, hands to heart. And then down to your sides. Now we're going to go through sun salutation B. Step the feet as closely together as you can. We're going to take this first one a little bit slower. Bend into the knees. Inhale, chair pose. Hips down, arms up. Holding here for an extra breath. Weight into the heels. Pull the hips back and down. Tail reaches down and feel your belly button hug up and in. Next, exhale, forward fold, release down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. We're going to go through a vinyasa, lower into your chaturanga. Inhale, lift up through your heart. And to complete our vinyasa, exhale, downward facing dog. We'll do that sequence quite a bit today. From here, inhale your right leg towards the ceiling, lifting it up nice and tall. And then exhale, take a big step between your hands. Now take your time getting the foot forward. If you want to use blocks underneath the hands to create more space for that step, do that as often as you'd like. Now take the back foot to a 45-degree angle. So the toes are still spun forward, the hips are squared. Separate the feet like railroad tracks. And then inhale, come all the way up into warrior one. As you sink in here, we're going to spend a breath or two more settling in and feeling our alignment. Square the hips, tail reaches down, spine lifts tall, ribs in, arms up, shoulders soft. Let's take one more deep inhale. And exhale, hands down to the ground. Step back and take your vinyasa. Move at your own pace, high plank to low. Your inhale will lift up through the chest. And exhale to downward facing dog. Let's do that other side. Inhale, left leg reaches up. Exhale, take a big step forward to the front. Take your time getting here. There's no rush. Start to open up the feet, set the back foot to that 45-degree angle, squaring through the hips, grounding through the heel. Inhale, come all the way up from that solid foundation. Settle into your warrior one. Feel your alignment. Take a couple more deep ujjayi breaths. One more breath in. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Step back. Go through your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward dog. And let's spend about 3 breaths in this downward dog. If you want to take rest, take child's pose. If you have excess heat, trapped energy, just open up your mouth and let it go. One more deep breath in. Looking forward, exhale, come to the top of the mat, feet together. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Bend into the knees. Inhale, chair pose, reaching up. And then exhale, stand up, arms drop down to the sides. Now we're going to do that again, but this time we're going to move one breath, one motion. If it moves a little quick for you, slow it down, modify, skip the vinyasas, take rest, do what you'd like. With the feet as closely together as you can, bend into the knees, inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, go through your vinyasa, starting with chaturanga. We'll meet in your downward facing dog. And then from here, inhale, right leg up. And exhale, step it forward between the hands. Set the feet. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Exhale, hands down. Step back, go through your vinyasa. From downward dog, inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it forward between the hands, back foot, 45. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Exhale, hands down, step back, chaturanga, go through your vinyasa. Once you're in downward dog, about 3 to 5 breaths here. Slow it down. Rest, modify, let go of that heat. One more breath. Exhale. Step or hop, top of the mat. Feet together, halfway lift. Breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Bend into the knees. Inhale, chair pose. And exhale, stand up. Arms down to your sides. All right, from here, we are going to do kind of a little bit of a stretch, but we're going to focus on what the shoulders are doing because we're going to take this same shoulder opening and we're going to apply it into our standing postures when we begin our flow. So have your blocks available just in case, feet about hips width apart. Arms reach up, deep breath in, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Hold here. Take a block underneath your right hand and press into your right hand so you lift away from the ground. Left hand to your left hip. You're going to bend your right knee, keeping your left leg as straight as you can. And then open up your ribs and chest to that left side, opening up here. Press into the block as you rotate open. Maybe your left arm reaches up. So top hand can flip back and drop it into your lower back for the half bind, just like we did in that squat position. But we're going to add on this time. Stay here, or what we're going to do is we're going to reach the bottom hand that's on the block, and you're going to reach it through the legs. If you want to stay here with the hand on the block, you can. If you want to work a full bind, reach through the legs, and as you do, flip the palm back. Maybe you can bend your elbow and connect your hands behind your back. If not, don't worry about it. One more breath. And then release, hands down. The full bind can be a little bit advanced, so I don't want you to feel like you have to force yourself into it. I'm just giving you options and also giving you visuals to know eventually what you could work towards. Lengthen the spine, inhale. Take the block underneath your left hand. Press into it, lengthen the spine. Right hand to your right hip. Bend into your left knee, and then press as you open up your ribs and chest to the right side this time. Now from here, you can stay. Maybe reach the right arm up. Maybe flip the palm back and drop the arm into the lower back, which is going to create that half bind. If you want to work towards a full bind, not required, bottom hand can reach through the legs. Flip the palm. And then maybe bend the elbows and connect your hands behind the back of that left thigh. One more breath. Open up your hands and then exhale, forward fold, release. Halfway lift, breath in. Go through your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. You can also skip the vinyasa and go straight to downward dog, and we'll meet there. Okay, we're going to start our flow here. When you're ready, inhale, right leg up. Exhale, take a big step between the hands. Back foot, 45-degree angle, square the hips. Inhale, come up, warrior one. Now from warrior one, we're going to take the hands behind the back and we're going to interlace the fingers. Once again, if you want to grab your strap, use a strap between the hands. That's just fine. Inhale, chest up, knuckles reach away. And exhale, humble warrior. We're going to hinge over the front leg, maybe drape to the inside of the leg. Maybe let the head drop. Feel the knuckles reaching away from the lower back. Any variation of this pose is still the pose. One more breath. Pull through the knuckles. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach your arms up high. And on your exhale, we're going to open up the hips, open up the back foot, maybe walk it a little bit away, and open up the arms forward and back. Warrior two. Now, bending into the front leg, back leg is straight. Level out the hips here. Core is active and engaged. Rolling open through the front thigh. Gazing over your front hand. Flip your front palm and inhale, reverse your warrior. Reaching up and back. Feel your back hand rest to your back leg. Maybe it wraps around your back. One more breath. Now, just to give your front leg a little bit of a break, let's straighten out your front leg and just see if you can reach back a little deeper. Reverse triangle. Now we're going to come back to warrior two. So bend your front knee, lift your spine, arms forward and back. This time we're going to come into extended side angle. Begin to reach forward as far as you can. You're going to drop your right elbow onto your thigh or lower your hand down to a block or down to the ground. Make sure that your shoulders can stay stacked one above the other. If you're reaching to the ground and the top shoulder rolls down, you have lost the pose. Back up, take the hand onto a block or elbow to knee until you can roll the left shoulder back to stack on top of the bottom shoulder and then extend up. The option is yours. From here, we're just going to do a half bind. Top arm, flip the palm back, and then drop the arm into your lower back. Hold here, take another breath. Now, reach the arm back up and take the hands down to the ground. Pivot on your back foot, step back, and go through your vinyasa. Move at your own pace. Then we'll do the other side here. Inhale, left leg up. And exhale, big step forward, all the way to the front. Back foot 45. Inhale, rise. Warrior one. Hands behind your back, interlace your fingers or use the strap between the hands to create space. Inhale, chest up. And exhale, humble warrior. Begin to hinge over. Once again, take the variation of your choosing and accommodate this side, even if it needs something a little different than the other side. Another breath. As you pull through the knuckles, find a focal point. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach the arms over your head. Exhale, warrior two. You're going to open up that back foot, open up the hips, open up the arms. Feel free to separate the feet. I want you to find your own personal alignment. Roll the thigh open on that front leg, sink in, level out the hips and pelvis, gazing over your front middle finger. Deep ujjayi breath. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse, reaching up and back. Back hand can rest at the back leg, lifting up through your ribs. You can also wrap that back arm around your lower back if that feels good. Now we're going to give the front leg a little break. So let's straighten it out for a moment. See if you can reach up and back a little deeper. Now rebend into the front knee. Inhale up, warrior two. Now reaching forward, same thing. Left elbow to the thigh. Open up the chest, stack your top shoulder over the bottom shoulder, arm up. If you want to go deeper, make sure the top shoulder stays open and stacked. Maybe your bottom hand reaches down to a block, any height of your choosing, or down to the floor. Top hand, flip the palm back and maybe drop it around into your lower back, opening yourself up here. One more breath. Reach the arm back up if it's bound. Exhale, take your hands down, set your blocks out of your way if you have them. Pivot on your back foot, step back, go through your vinyasa. Okay, we're going to go through one more little flow here. And we're going to add on. Inhale, right leg reaches up towards the ceiling. Exhale, take a big step forward to the front, back foot 45. Inhale, come up, warrior one. Exhale, hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Chest up, breath in. Exhale, hinging over, humble warrior. We're going to take an extra breath. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, come back up into warrior one. Arms up high over your head. Exhale, warrior two. Open up the hips, open up the arms, open up the chest, settle in, find your alignment. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Stay here as you straighten out your front leg. Reach a little deeper. On your next exhale, bend your front knee. Come up into warrior two. Settle in. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, lower the right elbow or hand down, left hand high. Flip your top palm back and drop the arm into your lower back. Stay here or bottom hand, work on hovering it, whether it's right above the ground or right above the knee. Stay here or you're going to take that bottom hand, flip the palm back, maybe reach and bend your elbow to connect the hands behind you. Open up your chest here. This is a full bind. You do not have to take this, just knowing that this is a variation that gets taught fairly often in this position. One more breath. Open up the arms and let's take the hands to the ground. Pivot on your back foot, step back, and go through your vinyasa. Last side here. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it through to the front. Set the back foot 45 degrees. Inhale up, warrior one. Exhale, hands behind your back. Clasp your hands. Heart lifts up, breath in. And exhale, humble warrior. Spend an extra breath here. Pull through the knuckles. Next breath in, come all the way back up, warrior one. Arms over your head. And exhale, warrior two, open yourself up. Take a moment to find your alignment. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Hold here on your exhale, straighten out your front leg and reach a little deeper. Then coming back up into warrior two, bend your front knee, settle in. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, lower your left arm down, right arm high. Your variation, maybe flip the top palm back and drop the arm to your lower back. Half bind. Maybe work on hovering your bottom arm while still supporting your body in this shape. Maybe take that bottom hand, flip the palm back, and maybe reach underneath that bottom leg to connect your hands behind you. Open up the chest, stack the shoulders, hold here an extra breath. If you're bound, open up the arms. Exhale, take your hands down to frame your front foot, pivot on your back foot, step back, go through your vinyasa. And then lower yourself down, child's pose. Knees wide or together, big toes connect. Relax your body down. Let your head drop and just release. If this pose does not feel comfortable or restful for you in this moment, take any other position that does. Slow it down just a little bit. Couple more breaths. Make your way up into any comfortable seat of your choosing. Close your eyes, hands resting at the lap. Now, if you would like to continue your practice and use this energy that we've built towards something else, you can hit pause now and do just that. Or if you would like a long rest, you can lie on your back or any last postures. Otherwise, we're going to sit here briefly in a little bit of stillness, not too long, and then we're going to close the practice out together. So whatever your choice, choosing here. And as you sit, eyes closed, feel yourself ground that energy down. All that energy we've built in the practice so far. Feel yourself settle into your sit bones, but this sense of expansion as you lift through the crown, you open up through your heart, slowing the breath to a more relaxed pace. And then lose all effort over your breath altogether. Feel the stillness, feel the softness, and just take a few moments here in silence. Join your hands together at your heart center. Thank your bodies for all that they do for you every single day. All the things we overlook or take for granted. Truly highlighting how grateful we are for the ability to even be here to practice today. And thank you so much for allowing me to guide you. Open up your eyes whenever you're ready. So I wanted to keep the practice short, simple, and sweet, and yet still leave room for advancement, growth, and inspiration in the practice. So don't be hard on yourself if not everything that we did today was fully accessible. What this is here to show us is how to find the variations that meet us where we are, not where we want to be, but where we are. And if we honor that space, eventually we'll be able to build upon it and add more and more into our practices with time. So I would love to hear your feedback in the comments, and I'll be looking forward to practicing with y'all again soon. Thanks so much.